cold out here. I'm gonna need my breaker bar. This shit's gonna make a mess. Don't like that. Knock on wood. Let's do it. That was a mistake. Alright, my lifters have been soaking in oil for a few days, just trying to get all the air out of them. I'm still going to use my pistol oiler and pump some stuff, or some oil into these just to make sure all the air is out. And then I'm going to get those put in, and then the new anti-rotation blocks put in, or lifter cuffs. And they are marked with an F and an R for front and rear, and they do come with new hardware for the covers and new bolts for the actual cuffs, and 2 new gaskets. So we're going to go ahead and get these lifters, cuffs, covers, and everything put on. Okay, so I just did a quick read over of the S&S instructions. There are a couple things you need to do that are a little out of the ordinary. You have to use a 2000s feeler gauge and put it between the tappet and the cuff while you're tightening the bolt down to make sure it's not binding. Rotate the engine, make sure nothing's binding, and then the cuff bolts get tightened to 100 inch-pounds, and then the tappet cover screws get tightened to 140 inch-pounds. So we'll get to there. We'll go ahead and get these things filled up and ready to go. I'm gonna try my best to keep everything from getting covered in oil. Grab my feeler gauge, 2000s, get these things tightened down. Nice and easy install. For those of you that have not seen my dyno video, and I went into a little bit more detail about bleeding lifters, basically you use a pistol oiler and there's a small hole on the side of the lifter. And you just pump oil into that until all the air bubbles stop coming out of the top. This was a little bit quicker just because they've been soaking in oil for a couple days, just to try to make it, just easier to do. So now I'm gonna get the gaskets installed, the covers, and the new hardware. Okay, so I originally had this S&S heavy duty spring kit, part number, 900-0958, this one. Thought I needed these for the cam that I'm putting in, and I'm sitting here reading these instructions, and it's telling me to get all these measurements and make sure my dimension A is greater than plus or minus 1/100th of an inch within 1.535 inches, must be 5/100ths greater than valve, blah blah blah. Anyway, I don't need this spring kit because this is for the 540 cam that came with this kit. The 540 cam is too big of a cam for this 107. Sold it to a buddy that has a 117, I think. Better for his. So I do not need to install these springs, seals, keepers, blah, 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 blah. So that's all getting nixed. Good thing, because I was not looking forward to doing this, and now I don't have to. Alright, so I got multi-layer steel gaskets here. These are what I've always ran on bikes I've built, and I've never had an issue with them. I'm going to go ahead and get these heads put on, just so I don't have to worry about it again, because I already almost lost one of my dowel pins, which it fell and just vanished. Luckily, it took me a day, but I found it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these heads put on, then we'll start getting the intake manifold, the front engine mount, all the other crap. We're going to start getting there. So real quick, I got the heads on. This one's already torqued down. This one's just kind of loosely in here. The torque specs basically are going to be tighten them down to 20 to 30 pounds. Go with 25, shoot in the middle. Then back them all out one turn, and then use the X pattern, which is labeled on here, to 9 to 11 foot-pounds, so 10. And then the same pattern going 25, 27 foot-pounds, so 26. And then the final torque is a 90-degree turn. So we're gonna get this back one done real quick.